On April 24, 2017, Montgomery County Police got a call about a shooting. They raced to the scene, discovering 37-year-old John Wesley Wofford, who went by Wes, dead, a single gunshot wound to his chest. As investigators processed the scene, they got a call from a tipster who reported that detectives needed to speak to Wendy Lynn Johnson. When police looked into the tip, they learned that Johnson had been seen fleeing the area of the murder with her boyfriend, 54-year-old William Allen Batchelor. Investigators hauled both suspects down to the station. First, they questioned Batchelor.
Stand up. I already told you she.
I don't like you. You're rude. Get the hell away from me, dude. You're a rude son of a. You want me to tell him, cry and scream and bad about his woman. This is crazy, man. You proved to me she's alive. Prove it, goddammit. No one can protect her.
What any reason you get so tight? It's not affect your. That's okay. You're good at it. Man, I ain't took nothing. Don't whisper.
Hey man, you want to talk to me, you alright?
You was talking about me.
Sir? He wasn't talking to you.
Nobody's ripping my rights so I can say what the fuck I want. It's appeared to me because I got handcuffs, I'm going to get arrested. It's still up to me money. So don't expect any cooperation on me. I call 911 and I go to jail.
William,
Yes, sir.
I'm Detective Curtis with the Sheriff's Office. Go ahead and stand up for me and have a seat over here. You have a seat in this right chair. You need some water or anything?
That's the rude guy out there.
I'm sorry?
That's the rude guy out there.
Okay, well, I'm asking you right now, did you want some water?
Some water.
Just some water? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Am I under arrest?
Well, right now, you are in fact handcuffed. Okay, so what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up reading you your Miranda rights. Okay? I'm sure you're familiar with the Miranda rights.
I'll my seat, y'all know.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to read them to you. It's a formality that we do. I want to make sure you understand your rights. Okay?
Can I ask a question before you read those?
Go ahead.
Is Wendy okay?
I don't know. My understanding is that we are out on her and that they are either transporting her up here or something. I don't know.
Is she alive?
As far as I know, yeah.
Really?
Okay. You have the right to remain silent and not make any statement at all. Do you understand that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Do you understand that right?
Yes, sir.
Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you before and during any question. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
If you're unable to hire a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you before and during any question. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
You have the right to terminate or stop this interview at any time. Do you understand that right?
I know that too, sir.
Do you understand the rights that I've read?
I understand all your rights.
Do you knowingly and voluntarily waive these rights and are willing to speak with us?
That depends on what you want to speak about. I'm very limited in the knowledge on what I have on.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's a yes or no question. Are you willing to speak to us about what happened tonight? You waive these rights?
To an extent. But I will terminate this before I get at areas that I don't know. And I can drink that house.
I'm fixing to get up. Give me a second.
Look, guys, I called y'all. Thank you. I called y'all. I called my mom. I was on 911 with the lady when I went to the store.
Okay.
I had to get someplace where I could find y'all.
Okay. So I guess the best thing to do, William, is to start from the beginning. Okay. What all happened tonight?
Did y'all cover my cell phone? Because I have recorded this. Okay, you're right. Let me think. I've had it all the day.
Okay?
Okay. Okay. We had a fight the other night. Not a physical fight, just an argument. She left. We got back together like yesterday evening. And she brought a friend with her. Her name is Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She called this guy Wes. I know Wes.
Mm-hmm.
He's an asshole. He's a drug dealer. I don't like Wendy being around him when she's with Samantha because it's Samantha's boyfriend. They fight. Oh my God, they fight. So me and Wendy made up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She spent the night with me. We got up this morning, and a detective from Autofit calls me from here
Mm-hmm.
and says they've recovered my truck.
Okay.
To call EMC towing. We spent the rest of the day, light hours, getting up the money to recover my truck.
Okay.
I got enough to recover my truck, went into Houston, got my truck, and went home. Told the people that were concerned I got my truck.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, at some point, freaked out. I was going over to her trailer. She accused I had to stop and put air in my tire. It strikes. Don't remember me because I got $10 worth of gas and the air machine don't work. She calls me on the phone and accuses me of being some gal and says she's at Zips. I said, no, you're not at Zips. I'm looking right at it. She goes, well then who's the effing redhead? I said, all I have in my truck is my golf bag. I don't have a redhead. Mm-hmm. And she said, you're a liar, click. I called her, I begged her. I said, Wendy, I don't have a redhead. So I said, look, I'm going home. She's tripping. Almost go home. She calls again and says, you love me, why aren't you behind me? I said, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm going home. She said, get your over here right now. I said, okay, I'm coming. I turned around, I drove back over to her place. Mm-hmm. We were getting ready to leave my truck there for good. I know who stole my truck. I was fixing to set him up for you guys. I was going to set him up for you. And when he went for the bait, yeah, I have everything I need to prove he stole my truck. Mm-hmm. Okay? We were getting video equipment ready that I had loaned her or gave her. She's my girlfriend. We've been together off and on for 16 months. It's all been easy. That's one so sad. I thought she fell in the water. I heard her scream. Mm-hmm. One. She went next back. She didn't feel with me. And I thought she was going to save her.
Well, William, I mean, as far as I know, like I said, she's fine.
He wouldn't tell me. How come that cop wouldn't tell me?
Because I don't think he knew.
He knew. I heard it on the radio. He wouldn't confirm it. They wouldn't say she was alive. She said, my cop, I can go out like you. I'm not going out. If you're going to turn yourself in, let me take you. We'll go together. She ran in the woods. And I thought she drowned.
As I understand it, William, she's perfectly fine.
I looked for her. I looked for a long time. Y'all weren't nowhere. People wouldn't stop. I didn't want to call that woman because we like snitching. I didn't really know what happened over there. Because I was on the other side. I heard a bang. She stood there. She's my old lady. I got her the fuck out there. The dude was shooting. Okay? Now, I didn't want to get shot. This dude was dangerous. The last thing I heard is, look y'all, the last thing I heard was, call the law, get back in your car and leave. He gets out, he raises his hands. He was not getting in his car to leave. It looked like he was reaching for something. I heard a bang when he stood there. Hey, read my sheet. I'm not new to this. When the bang went off, buddy, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. My truck, I wasn't supposed to leave in my truck. I was supposed to leave in the blue Dodge that was there. If you look, it's loaded. It's got all the camera equipment and everything. We're going to leave my truck there behind the lock gate. And this dude that I stole my truck wouldn't mess with her blue truck. He stole mine. And he jumped out and just, I don't know where, it was before the Walmart. Because I slowed down and said, what happened? Okay? She's like, just slow down, let me catch my breath. I slowed down, she bailed out of the truck. And it took me like 5 minutes to get her back in the truck. And she looked at me and she says, you'll be okay. And I'm like, what am I got to be okay about? And she, I can't say what she said to him because I don't believe it. But she was just bouncing around, and then she thought the police said, I was leading y'all to her and stuff like that. And I'm like, Wendy, I love you, we're together. We just got back together. I said, Russ, that's the first time I said, I really, love you, made love to you. I mean, we smiled all night. I'm like, how can you freaking say this about me? And then basically it went back and forth like that for a few hours. I don't know what time it is. And I'm trying to figure out what happened, I saw Cody run up there with a gun, but he had the gun. Cody had the gun. The kid Cody, he ran right by me. He knew who it was that came in the gate. I didn't know it was Wes. Okay? And all Wendy would say was, she didn't do that. She didn't do nothing wrong. Why are we running? And I said, I don't know. What happened? Who shot? And she goes, but I don't know. I said, Wendy, something happened. And she says, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. He told me to shoot him.
Who's he?
Todd, the guy that owns the property.
Was Todd there?
No. He's got some charges against him. He's got to be home by a certain time. But I heard he told him, I was there before he left. I don't know who he told because my back was to him. Because like I said, I just got my truck out and impounded. I'm just checking it out, seeing what all of it, my tools, everything are gone. And I wasn't really paying attention because he says like that all the time,
So you heard that today?
Yes, ma'am. Or this evening.
This evening, about what time?
I didn't look at my wife. I wanted to get Wendy back over to my place so we could get naked. That was really the only thing on my mind. Everybody ran up to that black car, but me, I stayed back in case he had a gun.
So was Todd there at that time?
Not that I know of. I did not see Todd. I'll put it like that.
But you heard Todd?
Earlier, when it was
Earlier.
daylight. Yes, ma'am. I got my truck from inbound, 4:35. I don't really, I wear a watch, I always look at it a lot. I work by daylight hours mostly.
Where did you pick your truck up at?
At the north, it's Rankin Road, take a right, 5th driveway on the right. North something towing. If it was stolen, the detective called me at 8:30 this morning, said, Mr. Backer, we recovered your truck. I'm happy. The rest of the day was spent borrowing money to go get my truck out. It's almost $400. I had to pay to get my stolen truck out. Okay, Wendy was happy about the truck. Everybody was happy. What happened?
So what time did you pick your truck up?
Ma'am, please don't be redundant. Keep asking me questions over. I told you, I did not know. I did not wake my wife. It was before dark. Okay, well before that. I had to guess. I'm going to say about 4:30 is 5-ish.
And then where?
Because I went to Uncle Towing first.
Okay. And when you picked the truck up, where did you go after you got the truck?
To where I live. And Wendy went home. That's the road at this point. We're talking about Wendy and what happened over at the other place. I went to go see my landlord, told her, here's the truck, you see it. I got to go see Wendy. I didn't even go in my apartment. So why it's so relevant about talking about that because the landlord is 85, has Parkinson's, and she's about ready to die any day. This may just kill her because we are good friends that worked for her for 2 years. I'm not involved in her, or they harass or browbeat her, that's something she knows nothing about, okay? That is not fair for her.
So I wasn't gonna go and
I
ask her.
called her and told her, that from what I knew, I was not in trouble, okay? Because all I did was her shot, I got the yell out at her, made sure my old lady came with me. Everybody was running or screaming.
Who's everybody?
Everybody that was there. Y'all got their names?
Who's everybody?
It's like a bad episode of Cops.
Look,
You only need to tell me what happened. I heard
Okay.
a bang.
listen,
Did Wesley shoot somebody?
William,
Okay.
what I'm gonna say to you is this.
Listen,
Who you think everybody is, or who you know everybody is,
I can tell you
maybe,
who's there.
maybe
I saw.
different than what we know everybody. So it's a
Okay.
matter of making sure we're on the same page.
Cody, Beth, Wendy, and me. And then Wes pulled up in the driveway.
Beth,
That's the only ones I saw.
Cody, you,
Mm-hmm.
and Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Now, really quick, yes, Wes had his lights on in the car.
Mhm.
Everybody, I closed my eyes because I got a photograph of everybody, I could see it. Wes had his lights on. I heard, and everybody's yelling at him. And I knew he wasn't supposed to be there. Todd did, okay. Let's clarify something. Sam and Wes were boyfriend girlfriend.
Mhm.
Okay, and I know off of my cell phone and the other cell phone, Wendy said she had some recordings of him threatening her on her cell phone. I have recordings of him threatening Sam and getting in a cuss fight on my cell phone, but Sam's talking to Wes on her cell phone. I'm recording him, because I'm telling her, I'm like, man, please just hang up the phone, he's stupid, you know? He's talking about you keep making just, redundant. And I looked at Lindsay and said, man, I'm glad our days like that are over. She said, where's your lovey-dovey, And she took Sam home, supposedly, allegedly, to meet Wes. Wes is not supposed to be on their property and hadn't supposed to have been there for a while, okay? I don't know what Todd's issue is, but he has a curfew, so he can't be there. He used to live there.
Mhm.
I've been dating Wendy 16 months, off and on. She's married, got a couple of kids over in Huffman, okay? But they were separated before we ever started dating, So I know you're tired of my going. But
No,
I was trying to give you some background.
okay. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Wendy has been so.
Mhm.
She has been committed and committed herself.
Mhm.
Okay, but I love her, man. I mean, when she's good, she's great. I didn't know that girl back. When she got in my truck, I didn't know her. And then she'd get lucid for a minute, and be da-da-da-da-da. And I said, well, what are you talking about? You saved me from what? And she goes, don't worry. And then she'd be, it was weird. I don't know if she was traumatized, if she was faking, if she was on drugs. I don't know, Y'all probably thought I was on something earlier, man. I've never grieved like this. I've never loved a woman like this. And she left and went to the woods. And he would not come out of it. And I begged her. I said, if you want to turn yourself in for whatever, I will go with you. I will go with you. And she wouldn't answer me. She wouldn't do nothing. She's just a little girl, man. She thinks she's grown, but gosh, she's so little.
Let me ask you a question. You said earlier when you heard the pop.
Oh, it was more than a pop. I heard gunshots, and that was a good one.
So you said that Cody
Cody
had a
had
gun.
yeah,
What
Cody.
kind of gun did he have?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Can I get technical? I know for a fact, dude. Now I can't say who owned them,
Mhm.
but that I had seen on a computer fellow. I can't own that. It'd be around pistols or guns or it'd be any kind.
Mhm.
But it was Wendy's choice. Okay, she said they were in her name. Blah, blah. I said, good. Don't put them in my truck. Don't put them in my house.
Mhm.
So as far as I know, she had a 38, police model 38, revolver,
Okay.
and a 22 Magnum belonged to her son. And and she had a shotgun for a while, but I think she gave it back to her son. She made it a point not to let me see the gun. Okay, And every night I'd see one laying out, I'd go over and I'm sorry, he, you know me, I'm a convicted felon, they walk in, bam, put it up. I'd walk outside, they put it up, then I'd go back in. You know, and it's the fact. That's what I went to prison for, 10 years. I'm off parole. Been off parole a long time. You know, I got a bull possession case where that stupid ass looked at, he's in jail. They just a crack pipe or something on my truck. They pulled me over. I smoked weed. I thought about weed. No big deal. You know, just a minute, hey, who cares? Have parole. Well, they found that an hour later. They bring us a piece of glass or whatever. I'm like, what the hell is that? And he said, well, you don't know. I said, except I'm under arrest, bring me my rights. I got nothing else to say. Except that ain't mine. And that's what I'm going to go to court for next week. It's my bad. You know, and I'll say that it was my truck, I know the law. You know, I was following Wendy to a motel, her and her sister Beth, to a motel in Baytown, so she could go check on her ex-husband. You know, she never asked me to go do nothing like that. Just keep her company. Well, she went to the hospital to make sure he was okay. Because they're not divorced yet. And she still goes over to visit her kids. And she's been going on for like 16 months or so. And, you know, I used to be a hard-on dude. You know, I didn't love nobody. I didn't care about nothing. You know, my mom passed and started caring a little more about me and people around me. And then I didn't, but this dumb broad named Tina. And I left her. She ended up getting a DUI where I lived and went to prison on a DUI. I was glad that I was still long, you know, 2, 3, 4 months. I tried to keep it real with Tina for a couple of months, but I could think of what she did, all the money she stole from me, buying pills and lying, and I said, you know what, it ain't worth it. So I was single for about 8, 9 months. And then I met Samantha through a guy that worked with me named Jason. Jason is her ex, whatever. And out of the blue, you know, Sam and Wendy and a big girl named Sissy come over. I'm like, what I hit the jackpot, look at this. I got a skinny one, a fat one, and a bony one. You know, and Wendy was the one having meat on her bones. Well, you know, long story short, one day she used my bathroom, she goes there and uses it, and she just will come here. I walked in there, she kissed me, bam, right there. I went, hey, the arms around her. About a week later, her and her sister-in-law, Beth, come by again, bam, she kissed me again. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm trying to be distant because I already know she's married. I do not know she's married woman. But I did not know they were separated. She wasn't even living with him. So she did it one more time, and we started kicking it, knocking boots, and we ended up being a couple. She has the most rabbit in her of anyone I've ever seen. You know, I told her, say, babe, I'll get the dishes. Why can't we get the dishes? I mean, she's totally opposite. She used to be saying, you know, what way you want me to do the dishes? She said, well, you're going to just, I'm like, I'm just trying to help you after working all day. You know, as a maintenance man. And this went on, and it's just like tonight. There's just sometimes, man, I don't get her. I know she's bipolar. I know she's been committed. I know she's took it. So I had to wrestle one of the guns out of her hand one time. Beth had to wrestle a gun. And if they want to accuse me of possession for that, be that as it may, she can kill herself. I'm not going to stand by with my love, do anything to harm to herself. The gun hit the floor, it stayed there for an hour. And she said, I'm going to pick it up. I said, if you do, I'll drop you in the face. And so I wouldn't possess it. I actually tried to open it in my flip-flops, you know. I didn't want to possess a gun. Anyway, I kicked it out of the way. Finally, Beth shows up. She was hiding. I kicked the gun on the door to her to do something with that. Get it away from her. She goes, why don't you do it? I said, I'm a felon. I can't touch it. And she got rid of it, brought back no bullet. Cool. I'm good with that.
Let's go back to the question I actually asked you, though. What, you said that Cody was in possession of a gun.
Yes.
What gun was he in possession of?
I did not see. I knew it was a revolver because he only had 2. I was putting cameras in the truck. I heard him say, that's that son of a... I closed the door to the blue one. I turned around, saw headlights. They pulled in over behind the tree. Cody's running at full speed. Mm-hmm. He's hollering. I can't see what's going on. I'm taking my time. Wendy passed me. I hollered at her, what's going on? She goes to the right of the tree, stands by Beth, Cody, and herself. I couldn't see Wendy because she had a black something on top. I think it was sleeveless, but I couldn't see her because she's got black hair. I just saw her white arms. And they were kind of lined up where I couldn't see because I was moving in case Wes had a gun. I hear them, somebody says, get in the car, you don't belong here. You were told not to come here. Call the law, call the law. Hey, he gets out of his car, he goes, hey, what the hell is going on? He reaches back into his car, not to leave, but to get something. I hear not a pop, it was a bang. Everybody's hollering and screaming. I run over, Wendy is standing still. I grabbed her. She looked like she was in shock. I threw her in my truck and said, what happened? What's up, man? What's happening? She didn't say anything. I got to the light. I know the law is straight, but I'm thinking this dude's shooting at us, okay? When you listen to all the texts and everything and all the...
Why did you think he was shooting you?
Because I've known him to carry a gun.
Okay, but did you hear any shots?
Yeah, I just heard the one bang, and everybody started running. So I've heard shots before, bro, from the streets.
When you grabbed Wendy, did she have anything in her hand?
I didn't see anything. I grabbed her, going from Kentucky State. I wasn't even looking when I grabbed her. I grabbed skin, clothes, and everything, and I started, oh, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. And she's just like a ragdoll. She wasn't saying or doing anything really. Mm-hmm. And I put her in from the driver's side of the truck. She just kind of curled up on the seat, you know, with her feet like this. And I'm telling her, man, what happened? What happened? He shot us. He shot us. We got him now. Because...
Who said that? She did or you did?
No, I told her because they were okay. Her and Sam, this is kind of shit I go through. Her and Sam thought Wes and this other dude stole my truck. We were trying to set her and Wendy up for some kind of a fall. Now, most of them are all speed freaks, you know, so whatever comes out of their mouth it don't matter to me, okay, because it could be true, it might not be true. They're conspiracy theorists, you know, somebody's always after them. So I'm telling getting Wendy, but stay away from Sam. You heard them on the phone, okay? Well, Wendy turned around to me, she goes, I got that on the phone. I said, well, you got that on the phone. He called and threatened me. I said, man, please don't tell me that, because if you do, you're supposed to call the law. I can't do nothing.
Threatened her how?
Sir?
Threatened her how?
She wouldn't tell me. I asked her to let me hear her, but she had recorded on her phone.
So didn't you say you had some
I got some on my phone too, yes, sir.
What are those threats?
Those, no, I don't, yeah, I have to listen to them closely yourself, because all I heard really was an argument between Sam and Wes on the phone. Sam is sitting in front of me, so I asked Wendy, "Are you recording this in case he threatens me?" She goes, I don't care. I said, Sam, I held my phone up, I said, she goes, okay. So she put it on speaker. Bam, it's recorded. Check my phone, go to the voice recorder. There's two recordings. One is 34 minutes of this dude ranting and raving, talking about what are you going to do to her. And then there's another one for like 2 minutes. I thought him, you know, threatening her. I told him, hey, look, this will get you, call the police. Terrorist affair. Plain and simple. And when I asked Wendy didn't know shit. I heard her say, you know, she told me, but I didn't believe her. And I said, well, look at him. Normally, when Wendy won't let me do something, she's lying. Okay? She just is. And Sam said, oh, yeah, she's got them. And I'm like, why are you holding these? Because this dude was, man, he was out there. I mean, I knew him when he wasn't out there. He helped me fix my truck, put the brakes on there. He started doing dope, and he started getting crazy. You know, he stole his mom's car and a whole bunch of other stuff they said he did. You know, what Sam said, okay, let me get it right. I don't want to tell a lie. Sam said, she said, Will, he said he's got video of me helping him rob his mother. And I went, rob his mother's how? Who robbed when? Mm-hmm. I said, I know that was his mother's car. Because he come over there and said, told me it was just me and him, so you're going to be hearsay no matter what. But it was like 6 weeks before they jumped on him. Okay? What around last night. He said, yeah, man, I'm going to get that. It's all about his mama. Mm-hmm. I said, hold up, bro, hold up, man. You can't come in my house. I'm the king of this guy that disrespect your mother like that, no matter what she did. Mm-hmm. I don't care if she sold you at birth, bro. You gotta show some respect up in this house. My mama's gone. Mm-hmm. You know? And he goes, well, that bitch deserves all this. That's what I got. He goes, so they said, okay, well, if you got that from mom? He said, yes, except for the, what was it, the baseball card collection or something. You know, did you watch it like that? I said, how'd you get it? He goes, man, I got it. You know, or she ain't doing this, she ain't doing that. I said, did you steal from your mom? I said, oh, you get the hell out of here. Please get it out of my house. Okay? He said, I didn't steal it. He said, that she owed it to him. I said, no way. He got it. Okay? I did see some paperwork that related to bonds. I saw some paperwork that was related to, don't tell me, because he asked me about it. It was a municipal fund or something. I'm not real savvy to that.
Okay.
But it was supposed to have been paperwork that belonged to his mother. And he asked me, what do you guys do? I can't do nothing. You get it out of here. Well, then his girlfriend, Sam, calls me and says, is Wes over there? Is Wes over there? And I was like, no, he just left. When you tell that people son of a bitch, you better come home.
Okay.
Bam. That's it. And he just started getting further and further out there. So I couldn't invite him over to the ballpark altogether. I told him, man, because one time I gave him blood stay, because Todd had already told him he could not be back on that property over there. All Sam and him did was fight. Or he'd start shit with other people. Me, he didn't fuck with, okay, because I told him, you want a shot at the title, big boy, anytime. I said, but just don't bring a weapon because I can't have weapons. But he said, no, we're cool. Because I thought the dude was real cool at first. I really did, because he was interested in my relationship with Wendy. I was talking to him about his relationship with Sam, but their spiral out of control so fast, it was unreal. I mean, she's actively running from him.
Who's actively running?
Sam Samantha is actively running from Wes. Wendy called me, her trailers are on their property, and said, well, you need to get over here because Wes is going to kill Sam.
When was this?
Dude, I can tell you last week. I can't tell you what day because I never really put a lot of stock in that.
So what of it if the information that we have been told is that he was invited over there?
Wendy had mentioned that. But she weren't supposed to. Todd.
According to who?
Todd, the owner of the property.
Okay, but doesn't she live there?
Man,
So I'm just asking.
No, sir.
Sam doesn't live there, or she
I
does?
don't know. Half the time she's like she does. Half the time I don't. I visit over there. I visit Wendy. I don't like it over there because it's too, well, like it was tonight. Here comes this kid that I'm trying to give a job to, running past me with a pistol. Okay, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, another dude ain't supposed to be here.
So, and where did he get the pistol?
I don't know. He came out of Wendy's trailer with it. I told you I was on this side of the truck and back over the Wiki Road at. So I was on this side of the truck with the door open, putting cameras in there. I had video surveillance that I loaned to Wendy because there was a guy living there named TJ that was giving her problems. He was a meth dealer, and he called me one day. I raised up, went over. It's my baby, it's my woman. She's worried, I'm worried. In the story, I get over there, I confront the dude, and I tell him, hey, you leave that one alone. I don't care. I seen a friend of mine, been on 30-some years, supposed to be one of his boys. I said, hey, Jay, what's up? Bam, we can kick it. Guess what? He is boys with his boys involved. I'm a mom. From back in the game. Back in the early 80s. Let's see, early 80s, late 90s, early 80s, early 90s. Because I was locked up. I was a screw up back then. I was it. I was into 10 years trying to kill a pedophile in Wood Branch. I'm off parole, been off parole. I had to do 5 flat years. And then they find out the dude's actually, Wood Branch. Like I said, bro, when I heard the pop, I grabbed Wendy, because Beth and Cody was running. He ran with Beth.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Hold that thought.
Well,
you can hear him.
Yeah. Jesus, that's it. Thank you. Oh, baby, what? Well, Cody, if I find out never gonna charge me with something. Don't bullshit. You're never gonna charge me with this. If he's shooting at us, how can leaving? What do we do? I called 911. Oh man, there goes I ain't got a phone to call. Oh my God, I might be a lawyer. For aggravated dodging a bullet. God. Why all you do is
What's your name, pardon?
William.
William, why don't you come with me?
Oh.
William Allen Batchelor was charged with tampering with evidence and unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. This story continues in our next video.